It's our time to start the program. I was taught that time is life, and life is time. You can't have one without the other. So we're going to get started. So we're going to call up, we're going to open up, we're going to follow the menu of the agenda program. We have an interfaith opening prayer. Reverend Dwight Webster, where are you? It's my man, Reverend Dwight Webster is a great leader in the community over the Christian Unity Church on Conti in Claiborne. Give him a round of applause for being there with us. Brother Khatib, you want to represent the Muslim community. Could you come up, brother, please? So please, during prayer, it should be silent. Should be silence and no movement. Silence and no movement. Okay, brothers and sisters. Reverend Webster.
Habari gani?
Umoja.
One more time. Habari gani?
Umoja.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Peace to everyone, to all who are here, to every person who respects life. Let us pray. Great, eternal, all-wise Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer God, on this first night of Kwanzaa, we gather in unity, umoja. That's the news, that's what's happening. Despite what the divider of our hearts and minds and souls would have us believe and feel. We thank you for the unity that you have placed in our hearts as we come across faiths and across experiences to just gather together in this place called Ashe. Lord, we ask that you would continue to bless all the program participants, the framers and organizers of this event, those who make sure that we are sustained as well as protected. We ask, oh God, that families would be healed. We ask that communities would prosper, and that we would only do that which is fitting, proper, and pleasing in your sight. We could pray all day and all night, oh God, but that's enough for now from this one. In the name of the one who creates, redeems, and sustains. The people said, amen, amen. Ashe, Ashe. Hotep, peace.
Habari gani? Assalamu alaikum. And peace to everyone. In the name of Almighty God, the most gracious and most merciful. All praises due to God, the cherisher, sustainer of the world, the most gracious and most merciful master of the day of judgment. Thee do we serve and thy aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, those whose portion is not wrath and who go not astray. O Lord, cause us to thank thee abundantly, to remember thee increasingly, to walk after thy counsel and be mindful of thy will. While we ask that you grant us good health and moderation, devotion to duty, beauty of character, and submission and faith. O Lord, remove from our hearts hypocrisy, and from our tongues falsehood, from our conduct acts of pretending, and from our minds' eyes treachery. O Lord, adorn us with the ornaments of faith. Cause us to be righteous guides who are rightly guided. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, beloved. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for that moment. I, too, believe that there is no God but God, and there is nothing living or dead that is worthy of worship other than the one true God. We're going to move right along with our program because we have a big night. My name is Brother Walter Umrani. I'm here to welcome everyone. Thank you for coming, and more importantly, thank everyone to submitting to the check procedure. I apologize, but again, I don't, because now you can sit in this beautiful area free of any thought that there's any weapons or contraband in this room. And there were some who took exception to the search procedure. At one point in time, we won't have to do any of that. But in this day and time, everyone gets checked. Now, 99.99% of us in here is not needed, but if I check one, I got to check everybody. This is unity, emoji, isn't it? So we check everyone. You can feel comfortable. And those who had an exception to it, when the police pick you over and pull you over, you don't mind that. When you go to the airport and they tell you to strip down even indecently, we submit to that. So when black folks ask you, please let me check, you got a problem. Those are the brothers and sisters that we need here more than anybody else. Submit to black authority. That's the only way we're going to make it, brothers and sisters. We have to submit to black authority and take into our mind that we are the people that's going to run this thing. That's the attitude we need. So welcome, everyone. This is opening night of Kwanzaa, Umoja, which means unity. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that unity, our unity, would solve 95% of our problems. So I'm with that 100%. I can't wait. So moving right along, I have to mention we do have food during this period of the pre-program before our keynote speaker, Dr. Minister Ava Muhammad, come. Please enjoy the food while we go through the preliminary program. I also have to give special honor. I cannot come in a Kwanzaa event and not honor the memory of Sister Olaila. We have to acknowledge Mama Elma Watkins. May God be pleased with her. She is the brainchild of the celebration of the black child. And all of us know about that. We go to Congo Square. That was her idea. So special acknowledgement for those who have passed before us that have established strong platforms. Okay? At this part, we also want to go into the meaning of Kwanzaa. We have Dr. Samari. Where are you, my brother? Oh, here he is. This is a brother. Is she here? Where is she? Oh, praise is due to Allah. Mama Vera, I didn't see you, ma'am. I call her Queen Vera. She came in. We was going to have a substitute, but we got a real treat tonight. So Sister Vera is going to come up and bring us into the history and a brief history and the meaning of Kwanzaa. Let's give her a round of applause as she's come to the front podium. Thank you, Sister Vera.
Habari gani? Habari gani? Umoja. And what does umoja mean? What does it mean? Unity. We are very honored to have this opportunity to gather here this evening in the spirit of unity to celebrate Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa, our very own special celebration, was founded in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga. For those of you who are celebrating Kwanzaa for the very first time, let me see your hands. Wonderful, wonderful, welcome. And we pray that what we put forth to you today, you will want to continue to celebrate Kwanzaa for many years to come, not only in your community, but also in your family and other institutions. As I said before, Kwanzaa was founded in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga. It's a 7-day celebration, which is celebrated December 26th through January the 1st. Kwanzaa itself means first fruits. It's a harvest celebration where we come together to celebrate the fruits of our labor and to honor the harvest that has come forth from the labor that we've put together and worked together as a community to bring forth. Kwanzaa is based upon the Nguzo Saba, which are the 7 principles. Each principle is represented for each night. There are 7 principles for the 7 days, today being the first principle, and one of the most important, which is paramount, the center one, unity. Because without unity, we have nothing. We have a problem. So obviously, we need more unity in our communities. So Kwanzaa is a celebration. It's a cultural celebration. It's non-religious. It does not isolate or eliminate or keep anyone from participating based upon your religious beliefs. And Dr. Ranga wanted to unify our community because he realizes that we celebrate various religious traditions. So we did not want religion to be a barrier for us. It's also a non-heroic celebration, meaning that it pays homage to no one individual or personality. It celebrates our history and our culture. So any and everyone in our community can celebrate our history, our culture, our accomplishments as we come together to celebrate Kwanzaa. We will be moving around to various institutions and places this week celebrating Kwanzaa, but first and foremost, we ask that each of you celebrate, if not by lighting candles, by just having discussions in your families, in your homes, in your churches, wherever you worship or come together, in the barbershops, in the beauty salons. Just talk about the principles because we're moving forward with a Kwanzaa 365. We're not going to just do it December 26th through January 1st because we realize that we need to celebrate and practice, not just celebrate, but practice the principles each and every day. So again, on behalf of Community Book Center, I'd like to welcome you. And I would be remiss also, Kwanzaa is a time, I don't know if we did libations.
Not yet.
But Kwanzaa is a time that we honor our ancestors for those whose shoulders we stand upon. And I just want to say that I am honored to be standing here today in honor of my mother, George Ethel Warren, who made her transition on Umoja, the first day of Kwanzaa, in 1996. So we give thanks for those whose shoulders we stand upon. Ashe.
Thank you, Mama Vera. Brothers and sisters, please ensure when you come in to leave your information because we're developing a contact information base. For those of you who've been around a little bit like Brother Walter, there was an artist named Gil Scott Heron. He said that the revolution will not be televised, but I tell you what, it's going to be on Facebook, Twitter, and email, and text. So please leave your information so that we can keep you tied in. Huh, Brother Darius? So please, we need to help you. There'll be some important information that's going to be coming down that you must know, life-saving information for our community. Okay? Thank you very much. Brother Luther, you're going to give us a little rendition of some of the traditional African drum technique. Please, let's welcome Brother Luther.
want y'all to chant this with me. We're the wild bamboolers. Wild bamboolers. Wild bamboolers. Wild bamboolers. Kere nahako hunane. Wake up, it's the Bamboola holiday. We've been together for a lot of years. We've had much fun and shared some tears. We come out of Congo Square. On any Sunday you'll find us there. We've got the drum and we've got the dance. We can put you in a healing trance. They call us wild because we're free. They say we're strong and know our history. Africa, Caribbean, and New Orleans. We got the prettiest queens that you've ever seen. So let pianos play and trumpets blast. Our rhythms will make you shake it fast.
Go ahead, Brother Luther. Brother Luther is a master African drummer, and he also have classes here. Please get with him after. It's a great thing for the young people to learn that. Thank you, Brother Luther. I'm glad to be in your company. Brothers and sisters, at this time, and staying with the tradition of Kwanzaa, we're going to have Dr. Samori come up and tell us a little bit about the libation and perform the libation, and listen clearly to what he says as we participate in this beautiful African tradition. Dr. Samori is a professor at Dillard University. He's not just, he's the kind of doctor that bring healing, Minister Ava. He's the kind of doctor that bring healing. And so let's acknowledge our brother, Dr. Samori, to the front. Thank you.
It's African tradition to ask your elders for permission to speak. Thank you. Again, my name is Dr. Samori Kamara. The libation it's sacred. It should be done almost every day. Before we embark on any kind of journey, any kind of endeavor, we should pour libation. We pour libation to our ancestors, those who have walked before us, to let them know that you are not forgotten, to let them know that we know that they still walk with us, right? And it's not usual in African tradition for a young person to say the libation. But if an elder asks you, you do so, because you know that maybe you have an energy that needs to be in that place at that moment. First, we want to give thanks to the Creator. But whatever name you know in your heart, whatever name you know in your mind, whatever name you learned as a child, we say, Ashe. We give thanks to Asesiya, Mother Earth, whose air we breathe, whose food we eat, and whose land we walk upon. We say Ashe. When we pour to the deities, Ashe. We pour to the Insanamfo Nananom, those esteemed ancestors who walked before us, Ashe. We pour to the first people to walk this earth, African people, people who look just like me and you, people who gave the world civilization, people who gave the world mathematics and science, people who gave the world language with the Metu Netra. We pour to our ancestors, we say Ashe. And we pour to their children, those people who had the first children, who raised the first children, who understood that it takes a village to raise a child. We say Ashe. We pour to our ancestors who built the civilizations of Manamatapa, built the civilizations of Nubia, built the civilizations of Kemet, of the Bantu people, the Congo people, all of those people who have come before us and built a great civilization and a great legacy for us to follow upon. We pour to them, Ashe. We pour to those ancestors who found themselves cast adrift, who found themselves shackled, who found themselves chained by those who came from the desert and those who came from the sea. We pour to those ancestors who would take sand in their mouths before they would get on those boats to go someplace and work from can't see in the morning till can't see at night. We pour to those who were voted on the ships. We pour to those who were voted off the ships. We pour to those who were maroons who said, we will live as our African selves and never be a slave of anyone. We pour to them, Ashe. And we pour to those in our own bloodline, those who are no longer here, but who made it possible for us to be here. Call out the names of your personal ancestors in your own lineage, those mamas, those babas, those grandmothers, those cousins. Call out some of those names. Donald Hamilton is my father. We call him Ashe. 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 In our own bloodline, Ashe. They're all in our bloodline. And we call one, we call them all. Ashe. Now we pour to those from the history books. Those are the great ancestors who lived for us, who died for us, who studied for us. Call out some of those ancestors, those warriors like Marcus Garvey. Ashe. 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 We should be going all day with this. Ashe. 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 Mark Essex. Ashe. Robert Charles. Ashe. Who else? Ashe. Ashe. Keep going. Ashe. Thomas Sankara. Ashe. Kwame Ture. Ashe. Stephen Biko. Ashe. Ashe. Duddy Bookman. Ashe. I can't hear you. That's all you know? Ashe. Call those names. Ashe. Bob Marley. Ashe. Ashe. And again, if we call one, we call all. And those who we do not yet know by name, we call them Ashe. Now we pour to those. It's not a libation, but an affirmation. Those who are here with us. Those whose tongues still speak. Those whose hearts still beat. Those who make it possible for us to be in this room at this time. Those of your family members. Those who take care of you when times are rough and when times are good. Let's pour to them. Ashe? We pour to those who are yet to come. Those who will stand someplace, somewhere, and pour libation in your name because you will be the warriors that you're supposed to be for our children. We say Ashe. Now we ask them to be with us on this day of the 26th, Umoja, unity. We ask them to help us understand that sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. We ask them to help us understand that one man or one woman cannot collect all of the crops. We ask them to help us understand that talking about fire does not boil the pot. We must do more acting than we do talking. We ask them to be with us. We say Ashe. We ask them to help us deal with our issues, to help us be honest, to open our eyes so we may see, open our hearts so we may feel, open our arms so we may hug our fellow African man and African woman. We ask them to be with us day in and day out. We say Ashe. We ask them to deal with the evils in our community, those who would like to see harm done to us. We ask them to be our backbone. We ask them to help us deal with those bones in our community that are no good, those jawbones who just talk too much. We say Ashe. Those wishbones who are waiting for somebody else to do something for us. We say Ashe. Those knucklebones who are only there to knock other people's ideas down without even giving anything to their community. We say Ashe. We ask them to walk with us. We ask them to be with us here on this night, this Kwanzaa, this year, next year, and today's going forward. We say Ashe. 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 The young Watoto, or children, will come and light the candles. This is the Kanara. You have 7 candles. You have 3 red, 3 green, and 1 black. You have the Zawadi, which are the gifts. You have the fruit. You have the books. You have the cup or the Macau that I was just speaking into. The Umoja, what is the cup called? There it is. Kikombe cha Umoja. We light 1 candle every day for these 7 days, right? And we know the principles, yes? Umoja, which means Kudi Chagalia, which means Ujima, which means collective work and responsibility. Ujamaa, which means cooperative economics, right? Nia, which means Kuumba, which means and Imani, which means faith, that we will be victorious. We will win. And together, we shall win. Let's give the young ones a round of applause.
Thank you so much. We had a point on the program, moving right along, brothers and sisters, for the spoken word. Is Sister Ayana here? Is she here? There she is. I greeted you at the door. Come on up, my sister. Let's hear it for Sister Ayana. It's going to have us a spoken word moment. Thank you.
Habarigani. It is my honor to be here, and thanks in unity with all of you. Giving thanks for the Kwanzaa Committee, Mama Oila, who is here, who helped us all feel the presence and understanding of what Kwanzaa means for all of us. Also to Muhammad Mosque number 46 for their diligence in our community to make sure we have what we need in the spiritual lessons for what we need. Thank you. My name is Ayana Molina, and I am a representative of True Love Movement. And this piece I'm going to do for you tonight is interactive. And I'd like for y'all to join with me in this piece called Power. And the hook is just spelling of the word power. And it goes like this. P-O-W-E-R, 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 power, 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 power. P-O-W-E-R, 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 power, 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 power. My sister got power between her thighs, got the same power between her eyes. Sister just gotta realize, don't believe the hype, don't believe the lies. Most sisters I know look really fly, but deep inside, nothing but despise. Love yourself, sister, be healthy and wise. Shed the shackles and break the ties. Come on, P-O-W-E-R, 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 power, 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 P-O-W-E-R, 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 power, 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 power. My brother's got power, yes indeed. Got enough power to raise his family. You got the power, brother, a soul supreme. Educate yourself and plant some seeds. Know the traps and avoid them, please. Use your skills to uplift communities. Don't kill each other, brother. You are not enemies. Love yourself and pass the peace. Come on, P-O-W-E-R, 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 E-R, power, 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 P-O-W, E-R, P-O-W, E-R, P-O-W, E-R, power, 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 power. My people got power, it ain't found in guns. Use your minds, people, as a weapon. Mamas teach your daughters, babas teach your sons. Rise up, my people, and come freedom. Uhuru Sasa, we are one. Umoja, baby. Give me some. True liberation has not begun. This a call to action. P-O-W, E-R, P-O-W, E-R, P-O-W, E-R, power, 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 P-O-W, E-R, P-O-W, E-R, P-O-W, E-R, power, 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 power. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all very much.
Oh, that was powerful. Let's hear it from us. That was powerful. Brothers and sisters, in this part of the program, we're going to ask Sister Joanne Minor to come up. She's one of the directors over Ashe. Is Miss Monica available? Where is she? Miss Monica, I just saw her. Okay. We're going to have a few words. Sister Joanne Minor is on the administration for this beautiful facility. Her name may say Minor, but she was a major part, trust me, in making all of this happen. Please, let's welcome Sister Joanne. I'm going to call her Major Minor. Come up, man. Come on up.
Habaragani. Well, I'm thrilled to see you all here. What a beautiful big family we have here at Ashe. Give yourself a round of applause. I'm here just to welcome you all. Thank you for being here this evening. Our executive director, Carol Bebel, is just a little bit under the weather this evening. We asked her to just take a rest. She's been burning the candle on both ends for quite a while. So I welcome you all. I'm thrilled that the principles of Kwanzaa are put forth this evening here at Ashe Cultural Center, where we practice the 7 principles all throughout the year. And I especially welcome the young people because as our co-founders, Douglas Redd and Carol Bebel, built this house, someday this house will be theirs to run. And I appreciate the leadership and guidance, and I hope to be as much of an inspiration as you all have been to me. On behalf of Carol Bebel, thank you and welcome, and visit us again. Good evening.
Thank you all so much. Please don't forget your glasses. If Brother Walter can't see either, I might use them. Yeah. Thank you. At this time, brothers and sisters, I can't leave out Mama Olaila. Stand up, ma'am, please. We got to recognize her. It was her idea to say, on this night of Kwanzaa, Minister Ava, no other events are going to go on. The opening night of Kwanzaa will be unity, and Umoja means unity, and we're going to celebrate as one. Thank you, Mama Olaila. I'm glad to be in your company. At this time, let me bring up our local minister, Mohammed Mas, number 46. Let me tell you something about this young man. This young man he has an innovative mind, Brother Darius. The things that comes out of his mind that's right in line with the uplift, development of our people, and as we are taught in the Nation of Islam. And I want to thank him so much. He has such a humble spirit. I'm going to tell you a brief story, and then I'm going to get on the side. I need to get him up so we can hear from Minister Ava. Lord, have mercy. One day, we was working on a project, and he kept calling me about something that I had done already. You know, sometime after a while, it started to aggravate you. I said, man, let me call the minister. I even rehearsed what I was going to say to him, with all due respect, of course. And when I called him, I said, let me tell him I got this. And when he answered the phone, he said, Brother Walter. And all of a sudden, everything just left. He's such a humble brother. Everything just left. I said, well, look, everything going to be all right. You know. I let it go. Let's bring up our minister, Minister Willie Muhammad, the man of the hour, the heir to great power. Where is he at? There he is. That's it.
And all praise is due to Allah. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we thank Almighty God, Allah, for his gift of revelation. We thank him for Moses and the Torah. We thank him for Jesus and the gospel. And we thank him for Prophet Muhammad and the Holy Quran. I could never thank him enough for two men that mean so much in my life, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in those names, I'd like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace and paradise. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. And those words just mean peace be unto you. The peace of God be unto you, brothers and sisters. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here, and we are thankful for that. And we know this is the opening night, so we say Habarigani, Umoja, which means unity. I would first like to begin by thanking the Kwanzaa Coalition for their work. And I began to start understanding how valuable Kwanzaa was and is in this city, especially after Hurricane Katrina. Because I remember the first Kwanzaa that took place when many people came back after the city, and it being held and not being canceled helped people in that healing process. So we thank those who are part of this organizing. Also want to thank Mama Carol B. Bell and all of the other leadership of this historic Ashe Cultural Center. Thank you all for what you're doing as well. I'll be remiss, I would have to thank my mother as well. Thank you, Mom, for coming out. And before I give the brief introduction, I would also like to thank each and every one of you all for submitting to our security procedure. I know it may have caught some people off guard, but we thank you. You know, we don't have to look too far. Just the day before yesterday, we saw what took place on the eve of Christmas in a shopping mall. So we would like to believe that everybody will come with the best intentions with no evil on their heart, right? But our job is when we put on an event, we want to make sure that everybody that comes can know that they will be safe and in a secure place. So thank you all, and if anybody was offended, that is not our intention. It was all about providing a safe and secure environment. So thank you all, brothers, sisters, and children. I'll read the bio of our sister. It says, Dr. Ava Muhammad is a student national spokesperson for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. She is also a gifted attorney, a spiritual advisor, and an author. Her most recent book, you can see here, Naturally Beautiful, which you can purchase online, is her most recent piece of work. She received her Juris Doctorate from Georgetown University and is a member of the New York Bar. She has also been featured in Essence magazine, which named her one of America's most powerful black women. The focus of her work is self-empowerment and community development. In 1998, she became the first female student minister to preside not only over a mosque in the region in the Nation of Islam, but also of any mosque in the entire Islamic world. So I would like to bring up our sister, we will bring with a round of applause to hear her tonight. And we thank her and her family for traveling here to be with us tonight.
Thank you so much. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we give praise and thanks to Allah for His mercy upon humanity. I also am very grateful to Allah for giving us both the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet all of you in the words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. This is a great honor for me to be allowed to participate in this celebration among our people. We are such a great people, and I am so impressed, really, with all that has gone on before me. Even though it says keynote speaker, don't get nervous. I'm only going to be up here a few minutes. But since we are talking tonight about unity, striving for and maintaining unity in the family, the community, the nation, and the race, I believe it is very important for me to address the crisis that we are in as a people. Now, of course, Dr. Karenga, in bringing us the 7 principles of Kwanzaa and, of course, Umoja, unity, success starts with unity. And those components, family, community, nation, and race, actually begin with the individual and the individual's self-acceptance. Now, and let me stop and thank, of course, Brother Student Minister Willie Muhammad and Brother Walter. And this is such, to me, this is a very beautiful edifice. It is very natural and very colorful. And we are a people who love color. I'm talking about the spectrum now, the natural colors produced by the sun. And it is a lovely sight to see you out here. We were blessed to come in, my family and I, last evening, and we're just having an incredible time. So I just wanted to stop and say thanks for that. Well, we can't achieve unity, beloved, if we don't know what it is. And as I said, we are in a crisis. The blood of our children is being shed in the streets of America at least once every 28 hours that we know about. Primarily our young black men, but also women, children, and the elderly are being openly murdered by U.S. law enforcement, and they are doing this to us with impunity. And so it's difficult to maintain cultural solidarity if we are not surviving. I'm looking at these little babies come up here, beautiful children, and all I think about is how are we going to ensure that they reach adulthood? Now, unity is the state of being one. And the basis of this entire universe, and our brother said, we first thank the Creator. Now, in the Holy Quran, the 112th surah or chapter of the Quran reads, say He, Allah, is one. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begets not, nor is He begotten, and there is none like Him. That proclaims the absolute unity of the divine being, and we are all from Him. We are, as our brother said, the aboriginal people of the planet Earth. We are the mothers and fathers of the entire human family. There are many definitions of unity. I like this one. Undivided, unbroken completeness. Totality with nothing wanting. Unity is completeness. Unity is when we have everything we need. And we do have everything we need. We just have to recognize it in each other. Unity is a state and it's also a quality of being in accord, agreement, and harmony. So as the sister pointed out, that Kwanzaa does not exclude anyone. What we have to know as a people, I am Muslim, I believe you are. But what we share is this, and I also am a Christian, and I believe you are. I'm a nationalist, and I believe you are. I'm a universalist, and I believe you are. But I will tell you this, all of us share a common ancestry, a common history, and whether we like it or not, because of this melanin-dominant flesh, I don't care if I'm a doctor, lawyer, crackhead, we share a common experience. All the way up to the Oval Office. If you are black and you become president of the United States, you still will be called a nigger. That's not a theory, that's an actual fact. President Barack Hussein Obama, whose father is from Kenya, has been in an uphill battle from the moment he raised his hand and was inaugurated. But thanks to Allah, he has a black wife who is brilliant, who is beautiful, who is a wife and a mother to her 2 black children. They are a source of great stress to many in this country. And one of the manifestations of that stress is what is happening with the police department. And I'm going to tell you tonight, it's not going to be cured by retraining. Because the murderous lust for the blood of our children doesn't come from training. The New Orleans police, the St. Louis police, Chicago police, New York, because you see it's not just in the South anymore, it's in New York City. Body cameras, we watched Eric Garner murdered in HD. So obviously capturing it on video is not the answer. We've been watching this since Rodney King. They don't care if we see it. There's no accountability for it. And in fact, not only are you not susceptible to criminal law if you are a police officer, but you get a reward now. Did you know that? Well, if you didn't know it, I want you to take a look at the internet. And in fact, before Darren Wilson, there was George Zimmerman. Minister Farrakhan said Trayvon Martin's death was the nail in the coffin of white supremacy. Now, how is that so, beloved? It is because when those 5 white women and one that was not sure of her identity, when they allowed George Zimmerman, who was a vigilante, he's not an officer of the law, he's a vigilante. When they allowed him to walk out of that courtroom without even a parking ticket, remember, Michael Vick went to prison for 2 years because some dogs were mistreated on his property. He wasn't even there. You are aware in Florida that a young man, 17 years old, was just convicted of murder, sentenced to 23 years in prison because he shot a police dog. Did you hear what I said? He shot a police dog. He got 23 years. He was not tried as a juvenile. He was 16 when it happened. He was tried as an adult. He was told by the detective, it's on tape, when he was interviewed, he was told by the detective that the dog, when the dog was shot, he did not die immediately. They tried to save him, but he died of his injuries. But the cop said to him, if that dog dies, you're guilty of the murder of an officer of the law. But Eric Garner was choked to death in front of you. He was choked to death in front of you and me. Now, George Zimmerman, who was a sociopath, stalked Trayvon Martin. You got a son, a brother, a father, a husband, a cousin. It'll be Super Bowl time in a minute. Halftime, step out, go to get a snack, never to be seen again. I understand from the president what he said. It was tragic that those two officers lost their lives in New York senselessly. Violence is senseless. Those officers, the president said, went out and didn't come back home. Eric Garner went out and didn't make it back home. Trayvon Martin went to get some candy and didn't make it back home. Jordan Davis didn't make it back home. And the list goes on and on and on. Now, unity is the quality of being in accord. Whether we are Christian, Muslim, agnostic, Hebrew, nationalist, whatever, call ourselves a whatever. I don't follow no organized religion. We all follow something. None of us in here are self-created. But can we find agreement? Can we find accord? All of the names that were being called out. Can we, for the sake of those that went before us, find a core principle to surround? Would that principle not be life? Unity, by definition, is the absence of diversity. Now, when you go into these major corporations, they have to make a conscious, deliberate effort to hire somebody black. It does not come natural to bring a black person into your law firm. It does not come natural in Silicon Valley. Now, black folks use Facebook more than anybody. I'm not just talking, that's a statistical fact. But only 1% of the employees of Facebook are black. They have to make a conscious effort. Reverend Jackson has to come and visit them. There have to be articles and stories about it. They have offices called what? Diversity. That's what they named the black person whose job it is to find them somebody black that they can deal with walking up and down their halls. Because it's disconcerting when you're melanin challenged. Now, we better deal with it. I didn't come up here to entertain you. I came up here to tell you the truth. You can take it or let it alone. They call it the I just saw it in Forbes magazine in the hotel room. Some young sister, lovely little sister in her pinstripe, she just got appointed the diversity officer. You're not the chief financial officer. You're not the operating officer. Back in the day when I was young, it was called affirmative action. It's had a name ever since we've been here. A conscious, deliberate effort has to be made. It's a sacrifice that has to be made. And they're called diversity. So by definition, when one of us comes into their sphere, it's diversity, which is the opposite of unity. So it disrupts their sense of harmony for the descendant of slaves to be in the Oval Office. Oh my God, he used Air Force One. Where did the Tea Party come from all of a sudden? But let me back up real quick because I'm going to close this very quickly. Let me back up to Trayvon Martin and why Minister Farrakhan said it was the nail in the coffin of white supremacy. And by the way, North Korea called America the graveyard of human rights. You know, it's interesting, you can make a movie about the assassination of a sitting head of state and call it a comedy. And when the nation that you're talking about gets offended, oh my God. We have a First Amendment right. Freedom of speech. Your freedom of speech enables you to talk about killing a head of state. When you do that in real life, all day long, when you have sent Cuba back into Jurassic Park days because Fidel Castro dared to stand up against you, Haiti to this day, because Haiti whipped the hell out of the French, sent Napoleon back to Europe. But when Trayvon's killer got away with it, it bothered our conscious mind as a people. See, that's why he calls it a nail in the coffin, because we don't have a birth record, original people. So we sit on stuff a long time. So we didn't run out and go out, but we just sat there like, oh, really? Seriously? You done killed this baby and put him in the ground? I mean, all of us felt that. So we said, okay, but then here comes Michael Brown. And then there were many things going on in between. The young lady in D.C. with her 1-year-old in a car seat. And have you noticed that in every one of these cases, our people were fleeing? They're going away. They weren't armed. We thought he had a gun. We thought she had a gun. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said, the black man's always armed in their perception. Because the black man is the primogenitor of all human life. So it is your prowess and your ability to produce life and their knowledge that the black man and woman, if they do integrate with you on the real, it would subsume them. It's not a racist concept. It's actual fact. It's physics, it's biology, it's mathematics, it's science, it's reality. They're not interested in integrating with you. Now that doesn't mean you can't go out and say, how you doing? If that's what you're worried about. But all of this trying to let's all get along, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if you want to do right by your children, yes, they should respect people, but they should demand respect. Demand respect. So to see Michael Brown's body lie on the ground in the heat for 4 hours, and by the way, I'm a former prosecutor. I was an assistant DA in New York City. So I'm telling you what I know. Grand juries are a tool of the prosecution. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? I said grand juries are a tool of the prosecution. We pick them, we impanel them, and we tell them what to do. The prosecution and the police work together. When I was an assistant DA, I had a badge like the police because I was a law enforcement officer. The cops arrest them, they bring them to me. So you expect a southern Missouri, the home of Dred Scott, with its ugly, sordid history. St. Louis, I don't know, they keep saying Ferguson, that's a suburb. It's St. Louis, Missouri. Now, Missouri, here's a special prosecutor, just a prosecutor, whose father was shot to death by a black man. Now, when that happens, that's a conflict of interest. In a rational world, you would recuse, not excuse, recuse. You haven't done anything wrong, but you step back because you have a predisposition. Now, on top of the fact that his father was shot to death by a black man, I don't know the circumstances. On top of that, a few years ago, there was some young brothers sitting in a car, I think it was a McDonald's. Some undercover detectives rolled up on these brothers in a car. Undercover, by definition, means I look like you. You don't know I'm a cop. Now, however these brothers responded, these undercover detectives jumped out and emptied their guns in that car and killed those two brothers. The cops said the brothers drove at them. They used their car as a weapon. They tried to run over us. When forensics investigated, the car the ignition had never been turned on. This same prosecutor, that's Michael Brown, lead prosecutor, dismissed the charges against those cops. They weren't charged with anything. This case here, the prosecutor, now they tell you it's a secret, right? Grand jury. You don't know who's on the grand jury. That's true. If you were called, beloved, to sit on a grand jury and you went out and told what happened, you'd be charged with a felony and you go to jail. It's a secret. But my man came out and passed out the transcript. Then he held a 45-minute press conference and just rubbed salt in the wound of Michael Brown's parents. Darren Wilson is a folk hero. He's getting paid. He didn't resign from the police department because he doesn't feel comfortable anymore. He resigned because he's a millionaire. You listening to me? He got a reward. White people on the internet were sending him messages, thank you for animal control. He referred to that child, because to me, he was a child. We call him my baby, right, sisters? Darren Wilson called Michael Brown it. It looked like a demon. It looked like Hulk Hogan. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is not a racist when he says the two people can't live together in peace. Because my perception of Michael Brown is irreconcilable with the idea that he's a demon. If you see my children, I got a 16-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old. If you see them as demonic, as deadly because they breathe, in my mind, you're a sociopath, you're a psychopath, you suffer from a pathology that makes you as dangerous as a wild grizzly bear. You don't train a grizzly bear. You don't train a great white shark. You don't train a killer whale, because a killer whale's nature is to see you as an appetizer. So you tell your children, don't go in shark-infested water, right? God made it for us to be on the land and the shark to be in the ocean. Like the brother said on TV, they call them shark attacks. It's shark defense. You are in his living room. Only way a shark attacks you is if you're in your bathroom brushing your teeth and you look up, he's standing behind you. Now, that's a shark attack. Well, how'd you get in here? How I got here is the least of your worries right now. That's a shark attack. But in all seriousness, same thing with the grand jury in Staten Island. How do you have a man say, I can't breathe 11 times? You're standing on this man. You're laying on this man. They choked the man to death in front of us and let the man go. Oh, and ask his wife, thank you, beloved, for forgiveness. And that's how we know we're at a crossroad. Because this is a Christian, God-fearing woman. You know, she said, I do not forgive you. I do not accept your apology. So the reason Trayvon's death was a nail in the last nail in the coffin, it put in motion where we're going. And if you think these are going to stop, you're wrong. I wish it, when we leave here tonight, if any of us has the misfortune of having an encounter with the wrong cop at the wrong time in the wrong place, it could be us or any of our family or friends. Now, how can we be creative if we're in reactive mode all the time? Do you realize we are not dealing with economic health? We're not talking about an airline that we're opening. We're not talking about a residential community. We have to deal with this all the time. And it has been without cessation since we've been here. So I close on this. Black Lives Matter. That's what we're wearing. But do they? Real quick, let's go home. Get in the house real quick. You can't have a unified family without a man and a woman. And you can't have unity between man and woman unless there is love and peace between male and female. There cannot be domestic violence. Children don't do what we say. They do what they see us do. So while we're respecting the ancestors, we better respect what the ancestors sacrificed for, which is ourselves. Stop all this derogatory language, all of this profanity and low-life name-calling that we level at each other. Now this racist beast up here in New York, Rudy Giuliani, he couldn't be happier than to shout at Michael Eric Dyson. Yeah, we need to have police in y'all's neighborhood if you didn't commit so many crimes. 90% of black males are killed by other black males. You know, but he's right. Even though the same Department of Justice report, 84% of whites are killed by other whites. Most homicides are committed what they call intraracial. White people kill each other so much that it sustains television every night. One of my favorite shows, because that's what I studied in law school, forensics, Forensic Files. On January 2nd, 1958. Now Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, the teacher of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, called the black man a savage and the white man a beast. We got to come up out of this savagery, but we better teach our children about the beast out there. No, it ain't about hold your hands up. That's what Michael Brown did. By the way, the kill shot, according to both forensic experts, the families, Michael Baden, one of the most renowned pathologists in the world, and the county forensic, the so-called kill shot, the bullet that took Michael Brown's life, he would have survived every other wound but one. The fatal wound, you know where the bullet went? It went in through the top of his head. I said it went down through the top of his head. 6'4". So where was he? One witness. That's the other thing. You can't get an indictment. That's a prosecutor's dream to have eyewitnesses. Most murders are not done with an audience. One witness said after Michael Brown was lying on the ground, that cop walked over to him and shot him in his head, execution style. And ballistics bears witness. That's what killed him. And this man walked out of there and got paid. All right? So what you and I have to understand is that we have to come up out of the savagery, but that's a beast. Cold-blooded murder. White people look around at each other. They sit in the Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner. They look around. We don't need Uncle Harry. We don't need Uncle Harry. How much life insurance we got on Uncle Harry? Now, wait a minute. Cold case files, forensic files, snapped. I killed my BFF, killer kids. These are names. And in many of these cases, it's for money. We catch each other with people and snap. Now we copy them, so now we got fatal attraction. But they kill each other so much that it sustains nightly television, not to mention CSI and 48 Hours and all of this. And yet, you go out here and kill somebody white and then tell them, is that your defense? Most white people are killed by other white people. I'm not going to represent you. Because that's not going to fly with them. And it should not fly with us. Stop disengaging the instant you hear a criticism of us, even if it's true. Because it's inappropriate. This brother was on, and I'm done. This brother was on satellite radio. I get so upset with us. He's going to say on his show, and I forgot his name. Honestly, I would tell you I forgot. Because I blanked him out, because I didn't want to hurt him. You want to just dive in the radio. He's on the radio. They're talking about Michael Brown, Brother Willie. And he said, well, you do know that he was in the store stealing. And we as a people need to acknowledge that this is bad behavior. Now, well, first of all, I don't know. You know that he was stealing? Really? See, we need to stop being stupid. You don't know what was going on in there. Have you ever been in one of those little nasty convenience stores that these people that just came over on a boat run those stores where they got a can of tuna with cobwebs on it, and they take your money through a bulletproof glass, and if they won't speak to you or make change for you, and then if you say, well, this costs too much, you buy, you pay, you go. You buy, you go. Now, what I saw on that video looked to me like a disagreement. It looked to me like something was put on that counter. But for you to be out here trying to placate white people so you can have a job, we have to acknowledge our bad behavior. They don't have to acknowledge their bad behavior. What do you want from us? Now, here's the people who have been kidnappers, rapists, robbers, murderers. Trayvon was lynched. Michael Brown was lynched. Eric Garner was lynched. You think lynching is the 1890s to the 1930s. You think lynching is when you hang on a tree. You need to look it up. The legal definition of a lynching is an extrajudicial assault or killing, meaning that you kill this person without due process of law. Now, where is Trayvon's due process? Where is Eric Garner's due process? He's under the ground over some taxes on cigarettes. Mail him a ticket. Here's Negroes on TV where he did resist arrest. Why was he being arrested? See, any of those that talk like that, I pray one day they get pulled over. And see if that cop gives 2 cents about you hosting a show. When he sees that melanin, you're toast. You understand? So unity of self except our own. That's why I love Kwanzaa, because it's us. Accept your own and be yourself. That's number one. Then the black man and woman have to love and respect each other. When you have a child together, I don't care if you are married or not. I don't care nothing about the outcome of your relationship. You're talking about that man, that's his father. You're talking about her, that's his mother that you are talking about. We need to get a grip and pull ourselves together. But understand that training is not the answer. Self-sufficiency, taking that $1.1 trillion that we generate every year and building for ourselves. We got to wait on them. Is it the lower 9th Ward? You know, we got to wait on them. Harlem is unrecognizable now. All the vendors run away. Big Disney store sitting up on Harlem. Why? Because we're willing to break apart for any little difference that we have among each other. You're telling me we are the aboriginal people of this planet and we can't have a business together? And we allow a business idea, partnership to crumble over pettiness. As much as white folks can't stand each other, the one core principle is this, and this is why you're seeing the U.S. Constitution dismantled in front of your face. No due process for you and I. no First Amendment right. The grand jury, they don't care about a grand jury. Now the new strategy is to do everything in secret. They won't let the family see the body. They won't release the autopsy report until it's useless to have it. All of these are violations of our human rights. The reason the Constitution is being dismantled, and they're trying to impeach the president, is because the Constitution is not the highest law of the land. White supremacy is the highest law of the land. And they will overcome their differences to sustain that. So if we love life, and if we have respect for those that have gone before us, then we should respect each other. May Allah bless all of us with love and the light of understanding. I really appreciate your patience, and this is such a beautiful evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Let's hear it for Dr. Minister Ava Muhammad, please. Let's give her that New Orleans kind of welcome. And thanks.